Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting Nimrod for our Sentinel army for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Couple things. You may notice it's super loud. To optimize my printer, I had to take the top off, so it's a lot louder. So that sucks. I'm sorry in advance for that shit. Second, the camera app that I usually use sucks now and is super broken. So I'm using this other app. Hopefully it doesn't suck as bad. If it does, I'll try to fix. I'm gonna try to fix it, but in the meantime, this is what I have. And then on other news, I haven't really posted in a while. Sorry. I've been really busy in with cosplay and like other projects and stuff like that, so I haven't really focused on painting. But I wanted to paint today, so here we are. First thing we're gonna do is sneeze. The next thing we're gonna do is so I did a zenithal prime over this guy because he's mostly white, so it's gonna help out. We're gonna take a matte white, let's take an off-white. We'll take an off-white spray, and we're going to kind of do a dry brush over the whole thing to give it a little bit more highlights and see kind of how that looks. I'm kind of trying to avoid doing a known oil wash over the whole thing. Like my instincts tell me to do that, to get those darks, like the recess is really dark, but I don't really want to do that. So we're gonna try this and see if it just keeps it dark by default. So let's start like at the top of the model and see if we don't notice any differences. So let's just start dry brushing over this guy. Got some cracked paint in here all over this thing. I didn't notice that before. That's from the primer. So that kind of sucks. I'll be having to fix that. So I'll go over kind of how to fix that. But the way to fix it is to not have it happen. And to not have it happen, you need to shake the crap out of your primer before you prime with it, and then make sure there's not like fingerprints and stuff all over this, because your like hand oils and stuff can get on it. So if it's like a hot day and you're sweating, that could cause problems. But I find that mostly just shaking the can really good is gonna solve most of the problems. So let's just get that in there. The good thing though about the spray that I use is that this matte white is the match to the primer. So that's why I use Army Painter or War Painter. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it doesn't. But we take what we can get here, and we're gonna kind of just get some water on our brush and get that here, and then we're just gonna go over these cracked areas, trying to avoid the edges as much as possible here. And I know it might be hard to see because this is a white model, but I'm sorry. So we're just gonna clean up some of these areas that are going to be white in the long run. That stuff here, the chest piece. You could also kind of leave it if you want like battle damage or something on him. But I won't do that to you guys. And just be like, it's battle damage, which is totally valid to do, and I get it. So that should clean up most of that crack. So you got some on his arm here. You can also just in general make this whole piece. I'm shaky. this piece brighter. Just what's on top here. Same thing here, he's gonna just get in there and clean up this bad prime job that I did. The funny part is it's mostly on the topmost surfaces, which is like where we want to highlight anyway, so it's like a free highlight step that we get to do. Okay, that'll be good, I think, because like in there is all that pink color, so I think we're good. Now we will switch to a medium sea gray, and this is going to be for like all his joints and like other parts like that. So just get some brush here. And we're kind of following the box art of this guy if you're following along at home. So we're just gonna get in here, and again we're avoiding like the edges where things meet, just because we want to kind of preserve that black line as much as possible. Our panel lining. And you might not be able to see it as much on the camera, but here it's fine. In person it looks better. Trust me, it looks better in person. So now we're just kind of coloring inside the lines. And it helps that it is kind of gray and white already in there, so that it makes it work for us. And we can actually hit this with the black wash. Now that I'm doing this, I'm like, wait, we don't have to do this. We can just hit it with a black wash because it's dark and it's not white. So let's just go in here, paint all that up, and then we're gonna go to here. So it's like under, it's kind of like an undersuit, even though I know he's a robot. That probably have to hit that with a white paint. Get in there, get in here. Getting like the hands is good, would be rough, so we're just gonna ignore that piece. We can get up here. These little top parts, the legs, they have these little kind of ribs in here we can get, as well as like this like side panel. We'll switch to the back. Just kind of work around the same kind of areas. So we want here, I'm gonna carry out the rest of this stuff. I want to get this piece here on the back. I'm going to get here, get underneath there. That's probably okay there. We're just gonna kind of do like a little circle and see that we got everything. There's nothing on the face that we get. Okay. So now we go into the whole reason that we painted this thing the way we did is for this Doomfire Magenta contrast paint. And that's gonna get our kind of pinky color on him. So we're gonna go here, get his chest piece. It is very bright. Try our best to stay in the lines here. Let's switch to a smaller brush for this. I can already see myself getting out of hand there. Near you. And we can thin this down if we wanted to, but we can use it as a nice like base coat. Then we can come in with like a hot pink or something once it's dry a little bit to get it better. So now we're gonna get inside the eye here. And inside this one. And we'll fix the white later. And then we're gonna paint the rest of it here. So let's get it on our brush here and just kind of slowly work it to where it needs to go. Like that. I want to hug it against this edge more to help with the cracking that was on the paint. To help hide our crimes a bit better. And it sucks because like this side got painted pretty well with the primer, but the other side did not. Here's the face. Okay. Now we're going to go in to these little pieces here, the little wings on his backpack. Trying to get every part of it coated. Try not to splash it by going off the brush too fast, because when the edges hit, it'll splash in and make a bunch of mess that we do not want. And it'll get on this white model, which is not good. And if you're going to do this differently and you wanted to take more time with it, like I would have probably Nuln oiled the whole thing. I probably just primed the whole thing white and then Nuln oil the whole thing and then go back in panel by panel with white and paint all the panels, leaving that like that dark edge or panel line in there. What the fuck was that? That's my cat. Can't keep his hand out of the cookie jar. And the cookie jar being my trash can full of filament squiggles because he likes to eat them. So just all of that. And then we want to get all this lightning It's so much. You could do this after if you wanted to, but we're here right now. So we're gonna take it a little bit, at least get up there by the hand so that when we paint the rest of the model, it's done and I don't have to worry about it. Like the lower part we can save for later when we do the base and stuff. Because the base is just like a basic gray concrete color that I do. It's nothing special. But I'm gonna clear all this area as much as possible so we don't have to deal with it later. Because that's gonna be the annoying stuff. Get in there. We've got it out in his hands already, so that's cool for us. We should have done this first because then all the splashes we can clean up with the white, but we'll fix it. Alright, so at least we'll get the ones by the hands. Alright, now I'm going to take some of the purple that we use for our actual guy. Purple? No, let's go to magenta. Let's go with like a pink. Let's go with this squid pink color to kind of add to this, or blend, or whatever we want to call it. Let's put this away before we spill it. And we'll just kind of we'll thin it down a bit. And just kind of like glaze it, I guess is the word, over the areas that we've already done so that it's kind of transparent. And then we'll dry more. I'll leave the eyes dark though. I won't do all of it, so that leaves like kind of like a weird shadow blend like when it goes in. Just like kind of doing like, it's like energy, so it's kind of like blasted out. Kind of dry brush these pieces to make them look right if you want. Make sure you keep it thin so that, that's way too much. Just kind of like dry brushing over the top of it. Same thing with the little lightning bits. His hands. It's floppy as heck. I didn't glue it very well. Okay. Then we're gonna go back into our matte white, clean up all those areas that we splashed over. Looking at like right here, got some splash over in here, down here. Just cleaning our guy up here. We gotta clean up these fingies. Arms. Anywhere we kind of splashed on. We splashed it on the gray here, you can see, but I think it'll be fine. And then we're gonna take our Nuln Oil wash and we're gonna go over the grays. So let's go here, get all of this. That's gonna help pop out those panel lines a lot more. It'll distinguish more between the white and the gray. Here, here, get our back. We're gonna go into like those spots that we hit earlier with the grays just to get those a little bit more definition in them. And then we have our white still, because I did remember that we had some spots that we hit here. Here especially was kind of gnarly. So just clean that up. Just brush this panel on here because it's kind of the front, so figured it would get light. Back on the black and just put it in there because it's supposed to be darker in there, so I want to lighten that up, that white that I just put in there. Okay. And then we get our probably Reichland flesh shade. It's like a reddish pinkish shade. We should be able to throw that over the gem in the face to help pop out that detail a bit more. So just get it on there. I only want it on the face just to pop out the lines on the face more. We're gonna go back to our white because there's some spots under the eyes that we need to get. Clean that up. Like that. And just go. Right through that. Clean up some of the splashes that I did. And that's gonna be our Nimrod. I mean, minus the base, of course. I can kind of just quickly run down the base. So what we do is we take our medium sea gray, and I kind of brush it over the floor here. Usually the bases are black, so they have more contrast on them. So we'll have to see how this kind of turns out. That I might have to go in here and do some other stuff to it, but go here, get all the concrete. It's a little hectic in here. But just get that and all the rocks and stuff that are on the base here. And then we take our Doomfire Magenta and we'll finish it off with that. Should probably shake this a little bit better. Let's see here, so. And we'll paint a black rim on it when it's all dry. And while it's still wet, it's fine because it's just gonna blend with the concrete color anyway, so kind of the best case scenario right now because it'll blend the pink lightning stuff into that. Just be careful, try not to splash it on our guy here. Jesus, my cat scared the shit out of me. Bro, I'm painting. Give me a second. He's never had attention in his whole life. He's never had attention. He says, I need it right now. Right now. You haven't painted in a while, and now I've decided that I need attention while you're painting, so. Yep, I know. Your life is so hard, buddy. Just trying to avoid the other model, the rest of this model as I paint up those. Get all this. And there, that's how we paint our Nimrod. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. See you.